people who are listening to this, and this is an audio interview, don't know, and I knew this already because some people had told me, and I know from watching you guys live, that you are quite, tall and seem really strong. So I personally, I don't know if I would mess with you if I was in the same band.
Well, it's just the exterior,
Is this just from the drumming, or do you do any sort of exercise?
No, I try to stay fit. I play a lot of basketball. There's a league called the NBA Entertainment League in Los Angeles. It's kind of fun. It's all actors and musicians and stuff that play. Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and all these guys. George Clooney, all these dudes are in the league or whatever. It's a lot of fun. So I play basketball as much as I can. When we're on the road in America, we always have weights and stuff. I lift a few weights. And drumming is a physical activity, though, and it's a good workout every night. When I do that, I do end up getting stronger as the tour goes on. So it all kind of works together.
Could you name us one player, a guy who was really surprised you, and another guy who you went, this guy couldn't play for his life?
Yeah, actually, Snoop Dogg, man, he's a good player. We played a lot together. He's pretty awesome. He played in high school and stuff too, like I did, I guess. So I'm trying to think of someone. Someone who was wasn't that great though. Honestly, there's a guy named Little Bow Wow. I don't know if you know who that is, man. And part of it was he's just a little guy or whatever, but he's also kind of disruptive, He was one of the kind of guys who would whine, when he didn't get the ball enough or whatever, man. I don't like talking shit about people, but he was kind of disruptive on our team or whatever. We ended up trading him because it was all about him rather than a team game, and that got irritating, I suppose, He was young at that time, too, this was like 2 or 3 years ago when that went down, I bet he's probably matured and everything's all cool now,
Yeah, I didn't mean to get you going, on bad-mouthing people, but
No, I understand, but I just remember that stuck out in my mind at that time, and it's cool. I don't know, I haven't seen him in years,
Danny, you guys have played, in particular, you've played live with King Crimson, and you guys toured with King Crimson. That's a pleasure not destined for many, especially playing live with them. I've heard the version of Red you played on stage live with them. Do you guys still keep in touch, or is Robert, kind of absent?
Yeah, somewhat. Much as possible. Like whenever they come through town, Robert will call, or any of the guys, and even after the tour was over, I ended up doing some recordings with Adrian, like I played a couple of songs on his solo record. And I haven't seen Trey for quite a while. I think he's still up in Seattle, as far as I know. And I saw Pat on our tour when we went through Texas. He lives out in Austin, Texas now, so when he came out to our show the other day, he's always got interesting projects going on too. He's a really creative person, so it's always a pleasure. As much as possible, we keep in touch though.
What was it like recording with Adrian? Is he like a different artist,
It was a blast, man. Both those guys are just consummate musicians, and it's nice when you hear players that are such stylists in a way, the minute they play a single note, it's them, To me, that's what defines a true artist in a way, They have such a unique identity, and you hear it from every note that they perform.
How do you find out those spiritual things which inspire you to set up your drum set in a different way and lead you to spiritual enhancement, etc.?
God, it's just kind of a long culmination of lots of things, man. It's just finding things that are, I guess, harmonic with your being, and if you're aware of them, then these things make sense, It's something that's so subjective, though, there's no rules to it or whatever, So it's just, you just try to create surroundings, that you're comfortable in, and that's real evident in like your instrument, especially in the drums, because it is such a mechanical thing and you're sort of surrounded by these objects. So if they're in the proper place, then I think it's easier for music or enlightenment to happen. You want to have fertile ground, I guess, or do whatever you need to do to make the inspiration grow in there, and that's what it's all about. It's not even so much of, say, a fertile thing or something, your surroundings being that primitive. It's best if they disappear, but the only way they can not be an obstacle, is for it to at least be as comfortable as possible. It's kind of the same thing with your ego, too. If you can just shove it out of the way, then that's usually when the best music comes through,